wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. All right, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones, and want to thank you for being with us today. And today is what wonderful day. Today is a day that we are deciding where are we. Well, right now you're with the Talk Beat Jones, and remember we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. And we ask you to ask your friends to join us with their conversations, with their thoughts on the Talk Beat Jones. Again, my partner, Miss Michelle Broughton, she's involved with that election and everything, and she's out helping you to find out which direction are we going to go after the midterms. And so, of course, she's with the person who is the council person at large, Miss Mary Waters. So let's proceed, and we want to remind you to ask your friends to tune in to us. We're located, I believe we may be on the R.J. Watkins page. I'm not sure. You can check, and then you can let the station know, because I haven't had the ability to do that just yet. We're on all of your YouTube channels, Apple, Roku, Amazon, etc. Let your friends know that we are now going to the system where basically we're going to have as my host, of course, my partner, and from time to time I may have a call-in person, but we are now going back to the old style. I want to be with you. I want to be with you, my friends from around the world, my friends from locally here in the Detroit Highland Park area and all across Michigan, etc. Why do I say we're going back? We're going back to the process where you and I, we can connect. You see the numbers down at the bottom of the screen. And so we're going to ask you now to rejoin the system, which is call. Call in. Tell your friends they can rejoin us now. I said you can now start to call and give us your thoughts, give us your opinion, give us your feelings about things. This is a very much of an appropriate time to restart this. It's after folks have gone into the polls and they've decided on whom they want to continue to see who is going to be representing them in various different situations, what propositions they felt was good. So we want to try to tell you, explain to you. Call me. Let's talk. You're going to say, Billy, you haven't really been taking our calls. And I'll tell you, you're telling the truth. You are telling the truth. And we've gone through the process of letting everyone else come on and do what they needed to do to try to expose different folks, different situations, etc. And now it's time for you, our family from around the world that we talked about. This is the program that helps you to understand how to speak, how to talk, and how to understand English, how to have a conversation with folks without having to go through the argument of state. So now let us see if that situation is now where you want to pick up the telephone and you want to call the numbers that you see at the bottom of the screen. I'll give you the number that I ask you to call is 313-868-4336. And when you do that, we will bring you right on so that you can talk. Now, here's the new thing. If you are presently with a television show, radio show, we ask that you don't call. We want to leave this program open for people who do not have a television program, who do not have a radio program, so that as we are going along and moving along, we want folks who do not have that access to the radio television ways. And so that's the way we want to proceed with this situation now. And I know that today is a day I may have to just talk and go through the idea that now it's again you and I on the Talk B. Jones as we go around the world, as we go around the world. And also, I want to say to the family that have been talking to me through the Facebook. Facebook had taken all of my pages, all of the situations, so that I was not able to hear or see the family members that was trying to reach me and talk to me through Facebook for a period of time now. And if you've made comments or was looking to have some type of expressions from me, I apologize to you. We'll try to get that situated, and we'll move forward and try to reconnect. Lost a lot of friends because I have not responded, of course, to the things that you had to say, comments that you made, etc. And so it wasn't that I was just intentionally ignoring you. It is that I was not able to see and able to respond. They had it that way I could see it, but if I tried to go to you, it was like nothing. So we're getting that situation straightened out, and so watch for comments and watch for situations from me again, and we'll get that back in motion. So I'm like back in the beginning stages with my family, and I'm reaching out with both hands and saying, come on, family. Come on, family. Help me. Help me. Help you. Get your word out. Get your word out. But I also want to make this announcement that I'm very happy to say that I have been selected by the attorney Odie Utterback to be his representative, as he is now doing his artwork and also will be bringing in his African art. And I'll be there at what is called Debo's. At Debo's. I'll give you the address, and the time of the show is on a Sunday. And this Sunday, this is coming up, will be from 1 to 3 at Debo's. Now, there will be another location coming up as well, and I'll be keeping you abreast because I'm going to be there. People have told me before, Billy, you never come out. You never come out to any event, any social event, any private events, any announcements, etc. And that's true. However, this is something that I have been at the station, and I was able to watch a wonderful, wonderful situation that the station presented, and all the beautiful, wonderful people that came down to support the art sale at the station. And so I said, the attorney wants me to be at his location and do this with him. So I will be coming down to Debo. That's D, capital D, comma, B-O. Let's do it again. Capital D, B-O, comma, O-S, boys, Debo's. And also there will be another location that we'll be announcing, and this will be a constant that I'll be talking to you about. We'll be bringing in some more pieces to show you, so that if you want to come to the locations, and also the original artist himself, the attorney Odie Utterback, will have his particular drawings, his paintings, etc. there. It's going to be a wonderful time, a wonderful place, a beautiful place. I'm going to bring some pictures and show you what will be going on there. I'm really, really excited about this, and this will, I think, will be an ongoing Sunday type of situation at these beautiful locations. So you continue to watch and continue to listen, and hopefully I'll be able to see some of you out coming on this particular Sunday at Debo's. I'll give you the address and etc. more information after the break. And again, the time will be from 1 to 3. From 1 to 3, I want you to come out, enjoy yourself. Beautiful menu, beautiful menu, beautiful restaurant, bar. It's going to be wonderful. just absolutely outstanding. Want you also to understand how to get to the show. To watch the Billy Jones Show, you go to the YouTube.com, you type in the search engine of YouTube, and you type TV33 on demand. You want to look for the Billy Jones Show and the date of the show. That will give you the show that you want to watch. There are a lot of shows there. A lot of shows, of course, Billy Jones is archived. Or you can tune in to the Billy Jones Show live at www.tv33whpr.com and watch the Billy Jones Show. Now, hopefully soon we'll be back into the RJ Watch announcement where we'll be able to be seen from anywhere at any time, and folks will be notified so that they too can call from anywhere in the world and be notified that we're live. We're ready to hear from you. But in the meantime, we've gone through the process of just coming off of starting to get some idea about the elections, some of the results. By the way, how many of you were able to watch the candidates for Highland Park, for the persons who are running for the position of mayor of Highland Park? I want to pause with that to say to you, candidates out there in the future, if you watched TV33, WHPR, WHPS, those particular candidates had a wonderful, wonderful situation where they were there. They were constantly being seen. Their responses to the issues of what they would do as the mayor, their particular feelings about the problems and how to solve some of the problems that's presented today in Highland Park. Just awesome. Just awesome. So when we talk about the elections and we talk about how much money was spent for folks who didn't hardly receive anything for their money, to understand the station located directly in the heart of Detroit, inside of Highland Park, can get you the votes needed to get over the top. I'll say it again. This station can get you the votes that you need to help get you over the top. So if you are a person, again, a management person, a person that says, I think I want to have this person put in a situation to run for office, then start talking to the persons here at the station about what it would take to get you into a situation to be exposed to the voters. And it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. There's a person that is now on a radio station that had a lot of exposure from this station, had an opportunity to kind of cut his teeth right here talking to you, presenting the platforms, presenting the issues, presenting what he felt, to show you the type of person that is inside of him. And now that person is on the radio station with a top platform, and so I'm sure that what they're doing is trying to get him ready for office, to run for office again. So you too can come right here and get yourself in queue for that jump that you're looking to make. Don't cost you much. Don't cost you much. But you can get yourself ready to make the move of your lifetime right here from this particular station. We do understand, without jumping ahead of a whole lot of folks, without jumping into a whole lot of other situations here, that Governor Whitmer is again your governor. But here is the deal. The lady that came in second place, you're going to hear from her. You're going to be hearing from her, and she is going to be a force. Remember that. That lady is going to be a force. And speaking about a force, let me just quickly jump into your former President uh, Mr. Trump. All of the persons that were saying when the election was over, wow, we're glad now that Mr. Trump is out of the situation and with all of his whatever, he's past tense. You can see when you have a certain amount of power, a certain amount of influence, as you're looking around and you see the person says, I can do many things. And there in the end, there's nothing that you can do about it. And people will say, that's not true. There's always consequences for your actions. I ask the question, is that true? Is that true for everyone? Or is that just true for some person, some people? Because as you watch and you're listening and you're seeing how some person or person have the ability to do almost anything, and the people will say he needs to be placed in another situation. And yet, we have a situation which that person could say, you know, I'm going to run for the highest position in the United States. It doesn't matter what transgressions they have accused me of. It doesn't matter. No. I'm going to run for the highest office again. What you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are we? Is that the way we are? Is that the way the country is? Is that the way the laws are? We'll find out as we move forward about what is happening and what direction the United States of America will be going to, because remember, it's not over. It's not over. Because I'm wondering, how did some of the races come out? And you're saying, Billy, you're the person on TV. You're the person on TV. Why don't you tell us? Well, I would like to have a conversation with those who were interested and involved. Those who decided to go to the polls and those persons who decided not to go to the polls. And I'll give you an understanding about people who talk about voting and the difficulty of voting. Me, being that I have a television outlet to talk about it, I decided to go through the worst case scenarios that a person could possibly go through in order to vote. And guess what? I still was able to vote. So I say that so that people who are saying, I couldn't vote because of this, or I couldn't vote because of that situation. Well, let me just explain this to you real quickly, and we'll just do this. Anyone who wanted to vote, whether you worked day shift, evening shift, graveyard shift, on the day of voting, front door, on the day of voting, you could still have gone to the polls. You still could have gone to the polls. Front door bells ringing, and you do not know where your polling place is, and you want to vote, but you do not know and did not know where your polling place was. You almost essentially could have went to any polling place, showed them your ID, And guess what? They would be able to tell you where you needed to go exactly. And they would give you a card that showed that you came in, and the polls that they sent you to, they would give you a card to tell you you don't have to wait at the back of the line. That card will say to you that you can go to the front of the line because you're already registered at that location, and it's a simple process. So I wanted to understand and wanted to find out, is it so hard as people continue to try to understand and try to make that note? I couldn't vote because of this situation. I couldn't vote for that situation. I didn't vote for that or this. I'm here to tell you, if you had any inkling to go and vote, there was no reason, none, that you could not have voted. None. So please, if you didn't vote, don't say because they forced this or they did that or I couldn't because of, all the way to the day of Tuesday, you had that opportunity to walk in and you could have your driver's license, your state ID, whatever ID you needed. You could walk into the poll, even the wrong poll, showed that to them, and they would have directed you to where to go. How about that? So I wanted to personally, this time, experience the difficulty, as everyone is saying, they're making it so hard because we can't get in, we can't do yes, you can, and yes, you could. And so in the future, if you were a person says, well, I didn't do my absentee ballot, so I guess I couldn't vote, I want you to look in the mirror and understand, smile at yourself, say, shucks, I missed out this time, if you missed out. But just promise yourself and promise your family, that's not going to happen again. If you were a last-minute person and you only had certain persons or certain situations that you wanted to mark down on a ballot, if you wanted to say, I don't see people on that ballot that I really want to vote for, could there have been a proposition that you wanted to vote for? You could have done that. You could have done that. You could vote for only what you wanted to put on your ballot. That you could have done that. You do not think it. You do not have to do anything to just fill out a ballot and put people on there that you don't know if you didn't want to do that. So let us understand, if you don't know, then don't do anything with it. Because why give someone else your vote that you didn't really want to have your vote? And this thing about name recognition, the thing about name recognition when it comes to ballots, and why people will take potentially old family yard signs and use those yard signs even though it's not that person, but they have the last name of that person. Because as you're going through, and if you don't know and you think you have to vote, you pick out a name that you've heard, a name that you're familiar with, a last name you're familiar with. But family, that person may not be nothing particularly like that other guy or that other lady. So you have to be careful about just voting for name recognition. I was saying ring recognition, family, but it is name recognition. It gets us in trouble. It gets us in trouble. We put people in there because we only recognize their last name, and we say, oh yeah. So we're going to understand that going into the next elections coming up, and we're going to talk more about that moving into the future. But again, my program, my program is going to go more into telling you about how to buy some things, how to take care of things. Kwanzaa is going to be a word you're going to hear quite a bit. And we're going to talk more about where you can start doing some things for Kwanzaa early when we return after the commercial break on the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy E. Jones, and you can see us every Wednesday from 10 to 11, and of course, a repeat broadcast on a Sunday from 4 to 5. See you shortly. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
All media platforms are engaged.
Copy.
Get ready to launch your show or product.
Periscope ready. We're 5x5 ready to launch. Copy that.
Trend worldwide across all major platforms.
Ignition. 3, 2, 1.
The world is waiting. Watkins Broadcasting. More than just TV.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. All right, we're back with the Talk Beat Jones again. I am Billy E. Jones. I want to thank you for joining us. Remember, take the numbers down you're going to see at the bottom of the screen. And you want to make sure that you call. And let's talk today. Those numbers that I want you to call is 313-868-4336. And you can also use the other numbers. But here we go. I mentioned to you again, call your friends and let them know that we're on every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. live. And of course, the repeat broadcast on a Sunday from 4 to 5. Now, I also mentioned to you that now on a Sunday, you will be able to come out to Debo's. That's DBO apostrophe S hyphen S. Debo's. And the location It's on Northwestern Highway, south of 12 Mile. And we'll be able to, you can go there, and it has a Mo Better brunch, all of the things that you want to have while you're relaxing, been to church, been out relaxing, doing other things. From 1 to 3, you can come there. Attorney Oda Utterback will be there. He is the artist, the painter, and also we'll be bringing in some African art pieces that you may see, you may want to purchase. In fact, I know you're going to want to purchase. So come in prepared, and make sure you come in and say hello to me, and of course speak to the attorney and ask the artist about his work, and see if there's some things that you want to pick up and bring home to a loved one or for your own collection. Again, that's Sunday, this Sunday, and all Sundays coming up, and I'll be coming up on a Wednesdays, and I'll give you the other locations, just some simply beautiful, beautiful locations. So when I was asked to partake and be a part of the presentation of the art and the creative African art, statues, figurines, paintings, etc., you know I couldn't resist. So on a Sunday, you're going to see me at those locations. But stop the presses, hold everything. Tim, did you just give this to me? Just gave this to me, and while I'm getting ready to do this, Tim, could you get her commercial, her introduction with her son, please? Family, I'm stopping. I'm changing. I was just giving to you this, and at some point, we're going to be able to get a closer shot on this, but I want you to see what's on the Detroit Metro Times. It says, Firewall, how a first respondent's death might have sent an innocent man to prison. Yeah, at some point can we get a close-up on this at some point, Tim? Yes, thank you. I want to let you know that I'm going to change up now because I understand about this. And so I want you to call your friends and call your family. I want you to know how an innocent man is sitting there in prison. An innocent man is sitting there in prison for a crime that he did not commit, and it's not a doubt. It's not a doubt. This is Miss Willis's son. We talk about receiving all of these awards from the city of Detroit. This man that you see, Miss Willis's son, had received all of these rewards from the city for all of his great work, his leadership work, the work that he had done for young folks, young men, etc. And this man is innocent. He's innocent. Come back, Tim. And I want you to know that. So I'm going to change up now. I had Miss Willis on the program explaining the circumstances about this situation and how it went down. I also researched it, and I can tell you this man is innocent. When we look at all of the people that are in jail, behind bars, behind a person of authority, allegedly making a statement that is untrue, that was contradicted by a person, his peer person, that had a higher ranking, to let the people know it was not true what the guy said. And based upon that untruthfulness, this young man is in jail, has been there. But to show you the type of person this young man really is, even in prison, what is he doing? He's helping the men in prison. He's helping the men in prison. Tim, do we have that commercial? Okay, I want you to listen. I want you to listen. And as you go through and you're listening, write the information down. When she says, take it down and go through the sites. See for yourself. See for yourself. And I tell you this. My name is Billy E. Jones. And I don't lie. I don't lie. Because if you lie, when it comes to the light, you're shown. Because that you told in the dark, it won't stay in the dark. And that this young man has been accused of and is accused of and is serving his time, it's a lie. And they say, Billy, how can you say that? Listen to this. Please, listen to this.
Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into Justice for Mario Willis.
You're not going to play the whole thing? Oh. I want you to understand it says facts. When you read the facts, you will find the truth and you will wonder for yourself, how did this happen? Why is this man in prison? Why are they doing this? Why did they not let this man walk? Because he's innocent. Why would they take the word of a person and then allow that person to change their story for a better deal for themselves? And the things I'm saying is allegedly. So I want you to be clear. I'm saying allegedly until you read it for yourself, and then you read it and you say allegedly, or what does your eyes tell you for what you can see? Because all the facts are there. It doesn't make 1 and 2 is 3. So how do you get 1 and 2 and come up with 5? It don't make sense. It do not add up. So I just wanted you to understand, receive, and go and get the Metro Times. And for folks who don't know, many of you have family members that turned out to be just wonderful, great citizens, great people. Why? Because of this lady. You know her. You know her. That's Miss Willis. Excuse me. That's Key's kids. Key's kids. Miss Willis. Key's kids. How many of you participated with Miss Willis? How many of you mothers, grandmothers had children that you entrusted to Miss Willis to make them a greater, better citizen, to give them some understanding of a greater life potentially. And then you see her seed, her son, and what he did for, and was doing for the community. What he always had in his heart, his mom and dad did not raise and put this type of issue with this person. That's not him. The accusation was totally false. No, family. Read and respond. We've got persons who say, I'm going to help persons who are in prison and they're innocent. Help Miss Willis. Help Miss Willis. I wish I'd had this earlier so that I could have read more of the information inside of this, but however, I have researched it. And I can tell you this. Remember the young child that they had pronounced dead. Do you remember the officials who said that the child was dead? Think about it. With all their credentials, with all of their understanding, with all of their medical whatever, they said this child is dead. Is that child alive today? Is that child alive today? For those who don't know, yes, that child is alive today. And I'm telling you that if you have a person who say that the cause of death was this, and there is an association, potentially that helps that family to hear that this person's death was because of this. And yet, when you have another person in that same occupation who is higher ranked, tells you, no, that was not the reason for that person's death. Come on now. Come on now. You got an innocent man serving time for a crime he did not commit. How many people do we have to see come out of prison, been there 15, 20, and 30, 40, 50 years? Excuse me, Detroit, but let me just do this. Because as I said before, I'm not going to go into a lot of politics. I'm not going to go into a lot of things that other folks are doing. But I will say what I heard as the truth. How many persons are in prison or went to prison based upon lies from our Department of Police? How many people are in prison or went to jail because an official of the police department lied? Now, it's not Billy sitting up and saying, well, I'm just gossiping, no. I'm not talking about Billy just saying this, no. This is an official truth. And I'll bring this around and say, yes, I do believe we have a wonderful, great department of policing in Detroit. However, what was and what went on and what happened and what came out, the truth, you had police officers that lied. If and when you had police officers that was lying, could you have person out of this other office that lied or potentially made a mistake that is costing this man his career, his life, the time with his family, all of the great, wonderful work he was doing outside, and ask yourself how many awards that he received from the city of Detroit, the Spirit of Detroit Awards. Come on, family. Are you going to take the words of an individual and then allow them to turn those words around so that things can work out greater, better for them? And refuse to give this man an opportunity to show you his innocence. Keys kids, those of you that have grown up, those of you who've grown up to be great, doing wonderful things, you believe in Miss Willis. You believe in Miss Willis. You know that Miss Willis will not lie. You know that Miss Willis will not allow a liar in her home. You know that Miss Willis would not allow, regardless of how close that person is in her life, to do things that is wrong without her saying, you're wrong and you're going to pay, you're going to do this, you're going to pay for that. That's the type of person Miss Willis is. It would have hurt her. But can you imagine the pain? Can you imagine the pain, Keys kids, that your person that trained you, loved you, helped nurture you is going through? Her child that she raised and put the moral standards in his life. Yes. Yes. When you are brought up and things are put into your life, your standards of living, your standards of what you know is right and wrong, that's in your heart. And all he did was share bringing the things he was brought up and taught by his mother and father. Not even around. Not even involved. When someone else is going to creatively lie, allegedly, and make a story up so that they can get off for something they did. No doubt they did it. No doubt those other person did it. I'm just asking why my Keys kids, Keys kids, if you didn't know, now you know. Get busy. Get busy. Do your homework, Keys kids. You're grown folks now. Some of you got influence. Some of you got positions where you can do some things. Keys kids, remember the pledges that you took. Keys kids, let's get busy. Let's do what the other folks didn't do. Let us not only have that Kardashian or whatever the lady's name is, be able to go and get folks out of the prison that was innocent. Keys kids, let's get busy. You got influence. You're no longer kids. You're grown folks. You got positions. You got connections. You got people that you can call. You got friends. You got associates that you can call. You can put an I want to know why. Let's get together and let's form a group and let's help bring the truth out. Get the Metro Times. Get the Metro Times. Read the story, and you make the decision. You make that decision. And remember, you are able to make a difference. And for the folks out there who say, you know, I took on the idea of going and helping this person because of whatever, let me make an appeal to you. Look into this case. Look into Mario Willis case. Pull it up. And as you pull it up and you do your research, you will see an opinion by a person who is a higher ranking person that tells you that guy was wrong. This was not the reason for this first responder's death. Now, I say this with all respect. I say this with all respect. But we do understand that in various different departments that are working with other departments, there is called a friendship, I got your back type of relationship. And if I can do something that can help you, quote, and help your family, then that's potentially is what I will do. Regardless of whom that decision may hurt. Because that's your colleagues. And I'm asking you, come on out. It don't take but a few minutes to pull up Mario Willis. Keys kids, you love Miss Willis. You may not have known her son, but you know her. Keys kids. So I asked the parents of Keys kids, what did she do for your child? When you were struggling, when you didn't know what you could do with your child, when you had no help in getting their head straight and keeping them out of trouble. Mothers, fathers of Keys kids, come on now. Come on now. Go to the website, pick up and read Mario Willis. And before I go off, I'm going to put that up one more time so that you can see what I'm speaking of. As your friend, I'm asking you, friends and family. And you don't have to be just local. You can be anywhere. You can be anywhere. If you decide to go to this program sometime later on TV 33 on demand, and you happen to come across this story, this particular show, and you heard this message, and you hear this message, go to the site, Mario Willis, read the story, and make this understanding for yourself. And see if your homeboy here is lying to you. I cried. I'm a grown but man. And I cried. And I stay on the verge of tears thinking about the man that was here helping your sons, and received the Spirit of Detroit Awards for his work. And because of a lie, he was taken away from his family, from the people who he was helping, from the things and the contributions that he could have made further in Detroit or wherever. He was raised to be great. He was raised to be great. He was given the type of background that was passed on to the Keys kids. That love, that commitment of achievement, of understanding, of staying straight. Not having a problem, not being a problem, but solving problems. And because of an unsavory lie, allegedly, his life has been taken from him. The heart of Miss Willis stays broken 24 hours a day, 24 hours. And hot off the hands, it is justice for Mario Willis. www.justiceformariowillis.com. Please read for yourself. Truth, facts, and evidence matter. Once again, get your pen, your paper, your computer, however you do it. Once again, go to Justice for Mario Willis, MarioWillis.com. Mario is spelled M-A-R-I-O. Last name, Willis. W-I-L-L-I-S. Family, justice for Mario Willis. Metro Times, Miss Willis. I'm Billy E. Jones for my partner, what's her name? Wait, what's her name? Oh, Michelle Broughton. We'll see you back soon. Remember, every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. and a repeat broadcast on Sunday from 4 to 5. We love you, appreciate you, respect from the heart. I am Billy Jones. Love you, Dad. Bye, y'all. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. Thank you.